Hey everyone, welcome to Rotom Radio. We are doing our first episode today. This is the new PokéJungle Podcast, and we are very, very happy to be bringing you some audio content. And thank you for being loyal visitors and readers and parts of our community. My name is Paul, also known as PokéJungle. I've been running the website for 15 or more years, and I am happy to be here today. Over to you, Sam.
My name is Sam. I am moving on the website, and I think I've been with the website now for 8 years, maybe?
Quite a while.
Sure, but something like that. Yeah, quite a while. 2012, I think, so almost 8 years. And yeah, happy to be here with everyone as well. And John, how about you?
So I'm John. I'm the baby of the group, PokéJungle years. I'm not even a year into the group. I'm a writer now, and I'm also, I have my own YouTube channel called Pocrates that I run with my fiance, but mostly I'm excited to be here to talk about PokéJungle content tonight.
Thank you so much.
Okay, very good. So I think we'll start with the probably the biggest news lately, the mythical Pokemon reveal. Zarude. I have no idea how you say it, but what does everybody think about it? How does it tickle you? Or does it not tickle you? Paul.
Okay.
You can start.
To be honest, I like the design, and I would have loved if it had been the final evolution of the starter, the grass starter.
Grookey?
Yep. I like it a lot more than
Rillaboom.
Bongarilla. Yeah.
I like it.
It doesn't really look... Oh, sorry.
No, you can go.
It doesn't really look like a mythical, though. It's kind of... I don't know. It doesn't really fit that whole idea of mythicalness.
Yeah.
It seems to be the consensus that it's probably the ugliest mythical. It's it's not cute. It's not tiny. It's not really what people were expecting, but I definitely like it. I like that it looks kind of evil, and it kind of looks like like a angry Grookey evolution.
I like the demonic aspect. Like, it just looks demonic to me. And also, I do find it weird that they are doing like a grass monkey as the mythical, and also have a grass monkey for the starting evolutionary line. Like, that does seem... I don't think that's ever happened before. Like, they have the same exact idea for, like, a mythical Pokemon and one of the starters.
I did see some people sort of maybe thinking that they were going to do one for each of the starters, like a monkey, then whatever the hell the other two are, a rabbit and a thing. That could be absolutely nothing, but I just find it a bit interesting.
Oh, yeah. I guess I didn't really think about Calyrex as also a rabbit. I mean, not a mythical, but still it's a new legendary that they created, and it's also Scorbunny is a rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think of that, but yeah. I don't know. So the Calyrex is just a legendary, right?
Yeah,
it's not
not a mythical, no, but it's an interesting point.
But the thing is, like... Oh, sorry, John, what were you saying?
I think the big thing that Zarude caused was like the internet meme of its name being so similar to that DJ who released the song Sandstorm. You couldn't scroll through Twitter without seeing that.
I am hashtag over it.
What does his name mean, though? Is it literally just the rude?
Zarude.
Because in Japanese, like Zacian and Zamazenta are the cyan and the magenta.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what his name means.
Well, Saru is monkey, so I think that's why they got Zaru, but I'm not sure what the exact etymology of the name is.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But what I'm curious about is, like, if it's going to have another form. Like, if you think about Hoopa had the Unbound form, I believe.
Yeah.
Is there something more that we have yet to see? I hope there is, to be honest.
I agree with you.
I guess something with his vines.
I know, something to,
It's probably going to pull out some tree trunk drums.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so besides Zarude, that's yesterday's news now.
Yesterday's news. What else have we got? I want to talk about the raid. We kind of did briefly speak about this earlier. The raids at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with the raids and how you think they're going to sort of handle. So they've gone through all of the special ones. We had Snorlax, Toxtricity, but we haven't had Melmetal. Is it Melmetal?
Yeah, Melmetal.
Like they sort of went almost back to back with the other two, and now they've switched back. And what's going to happen up until the DLC?
I'm excited for the Melmetal one though.
I wonder if right before the DLC there will be the Melmetal one, because it's been pretty consistent that as soon as one event ends with relatively no overlap, another one will start. I think the only exception being Delibird overlapped with the current event right around Christmas time.
How many exclusives are there? Like version exclusives? There's the Machamp, Gengar.
So yeah, Machamp is a version exclusive to Sword, and I believe so is Colossal. And then Lapras and Gengar, I believe, are Shield exclusives. And then also Flapple is a Sword exclusive, as well as Appletun is a Shield exclusive in terms of Gigantamax forms.
Have they done all of those so that you can get them non-exclusively?
Yes, they have.
In the other version?
Yeah.
Or they've done all of them? Oh. Well, I have no idea what they'll do next.
I mean, they have, and then they've returned to Gengar and Machamp now, as well as having Snorlax available, as it doesn't have an in-game den, so now you just have to find it through a distribution den.
To be honest, I kind of like the way they do these events, and I wish they had saved more of them to be kind of event exclusive, so we had a constantly rotating thing to look forward to, whereas we're kind of out now.
I know. The only thing I can think of is they've introduced several new Pokemon. Like I think it's around 80 to 90 new Pokemon, including Galarian forms. But we don't have all of their hidden abilities. Like we don't have Boltun's hidden ability. We don't have Thievul.
That's true.
Or Dubwool. So I imagine that either they're saving that for the expansion pass, or we're going to see some of that in upcoming raids. But without Gigantamax forms, unless that's another surprise.
So actually, here's a question.
Starters?
Sorry, Sam.
Oh.
This is kind of related to the DLC, but are there any features in previous games that you wish would return in the Sword and Shield DLC? Like, just off the top of my head, like Pokemon dens from Black and White. Were they called
Black
dens?
and White? Like having the hidden ability interaction Pokemon?
Yeah.
Like how you could interact with the Braviary and that one would have its hidden ability?
Yeah. It was Black and White 2, wasn't it?
1 second.
Sorry.
I'm not sure.
Are we all talking about the same thing?
I think so. Hang on. Well, he asked...
Hidden Grottoes. Sorry, the Hidden Grottoes.
Ah.
The Hidden Grottoes was...
never ever did those.
That was in, I think, Black and White 2?
Yeah.
Was that in both?
Yeah.
Hidden Grottoes.
Was that just finding special abilities or something in the dens?
I think it was.
I can't even remember what that was.
And those were also version exclusives. I remember that. It was like wandering into what just looked like woods, and then there was a Pokemon you could speak to.
Yeah.
You mean like have that sort of thing in the raids, or just as a completely separate feature?
No, just as a feature brought back in the DLC.
I think that'd be cool.
And I'm looking at this on Cerebi, actually, and I'm going to have to send him a DM because this page is screwed up.
I think that if they wanted to do something... Sorry to talk over you. I think if they were going to do something like Hidden Grottoes, maybe they would add more hidden ability Pokemon in the Crown Tundra when we're exploring the dens. Who knows? I'm not sure what that'll be like.
It would be cool if they did that. If they did the dens, but in a different way so that they're not just a glowing.
I kind of
So
wonder.
it's essentially the exact same thing, but just did them so they're not a glowing red pile of rocks.
I wonder if you know how the new way that the dens are going to be is that you enter into it and you actually walk through the den and explore it, and it seems like it concludes with a legendary encounter, and that will be in the fall. And I'm wondering if the entrance will still look like the beam in the sky coming from the rocks, or if it'll be like a cave entrance.
Yeah, it would be cool if they sort of did that along with sort of how like Mystery Dungeon works. You have to clear the dungeon, get to the final one, which is the raid. I don't know how they do that.
You know how many people would be pissed off if they had to go through all those steps just to get to that?
I would love that.
I think that is what they plan to do.
We already had the Dexit, now we're going to have the Den exit. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
They could have two types. Or you could just go to them right away and it'd be easier, or you can have this ultra high difficulty. You have to clear everything.
Speaking of ultra...
Or like multi-step raids.
I think that is what it is anticipated to be. I don't know if there's going to be multiple encounters, but it's supposed to be that the 4 players go in and cooperatively clear the den. I'm wondering...
Because they mentioned like a new type of co-op play, right?
Yeah, they did. I think it is going to be long. I think it's going to be like at least 3 encounters, including, a legendary.
Well,
I take that.
I'm willing to hold out. I think it could be interesting.
I think so too.
It's definitely going to be interesting. Which brings us on to Mystery Dungeon. Have either of you played any more? I know, John, you were playing. Paul, I can't remember if you played.
I just played the demo.
The demo.
Just the demo, me too.
So I had played the demo. I pre-ordered the game, and I played through as far as the demo again. I chose not to do my save data, as I said last time that we spoke. And I have not played since.
Oh.
So kind of a fail on my end.
That's not good. But yeah, I don't know. What do we still have any idea of if there's anything else like coming to the game at any point, or are they just done with it? It is what it is.
Good question.
Do they have like timed events or anything going on?
I hadn't gotten far enough into it to really interact with anything that feels like it could be updated and, kept fresh with different types of dens and perhaps different, increased shiny rates or drops. But I think that they did add a few things from the predecessors, including shiny Pokemon. And I've seen a lot of people online excited by shiny hunting inside of Mystery Dungeon.
Mm-hmm. I just think it's silly that they limited it to I think 20 or so Pokemon that can be shiny? Like, it's not all of them.
I actually don't know about that.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of a silly choice.
That's kind of how I feel about the Pokemon Go shinies, too.
I think it's 30.
Sorry, 30.
30 of them plus...
Well, here I got the number 27 on a different source, so maybe it's up.
Maybe I just counted wrong.
This is a very controversial issue right now.
Oh, I did not know that shiny Corsola was blue.
It's a good one.
Now you want it?
Let's see.
Oh, I'm going to have to go find one now.
I'm curious about, they let us collect these Pokemon and they can be shiny, so people are going to go out of their way to try to catch them. Will they let us transfer this onto the Pokemon Home when that was mentioned to be a platform for our Pokemon from all kinds of adventures when it was first announced?
I'm going to be Debbie Downer and I'm going to say no.
Cool, but I didn't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, at this point we don't even have Pokemon Go compatibility with Home, so we'll see what happens.
At least
Pokemon even have stats in Mystery Dungeon.
They could probably generate them when they're transferred over, but it's good that they fixed the Magearna glitch thing with the National
with the
Dex
Home, yeah.
Home. Yeah.
the Magearna distribution event is officially fixed with the recent home patch. I saw a lot of people, you do not need a living dex, you just need to have an entry for every Pokemon in your home Pokedex, and then you'll be rewarded with Magearna's original color.
So if you connect your game to home...
What was happening with that, with everyone thinking it was shiny as well?
Well, it has the unique coloration.
Is that just all it was? It was just different colored, and everyone seemed to think that it was shiny, but it's not.
I actually thought that Magearna didn't have a shiny form, and that was just its alternate form, but I could be wrong.
It is kind of weird because it's called the origin form, but yeah, it does have a separate shiny.
Oh yeah, I just pulled it up here. So they're pretty different, drastically.
I actually think that the shiny of the original color one's better than the. It's kind of gross.
Yeah, it's like I like the black. Is that what you're looking
me
at?
too.
Yeah.
It looks kind of like a
That
honeybee.
red is not good.
She went from a Pokeball to an Ultra Ball.
Ooh, girl.
Yeah.
The silver's pretty good as well. I like that one.
I like the original color. And I mean, in game, I do feel like all the Pokemon models look so much better, especially the shinies. They just make so much more sense in the high resolution. Whereas before, like in the earlier games, it just felt like they were like run under a filter. Like the sepia version of Rhyhorn.
Yeah. Did they change any shiny forms in Sword and Shield?
Don't ask questions we don't know the
So
answer
I don't know.
Did they update
I think that they at least updated some with the release of Pokemon Home. You know, they added shiny details to the cast forms. In my opinion, it looks like they updated Como-O's shiny, because I remember feeling like it was too green for me when I was playing Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but then when I had it in Sword and Shield, it was much more yellow than I remembered. So I don't know if it's just like a difference in like the quality of of the image, or if it's actually a color difference.
That is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I do like the colors of that one there. That pink and yellow. That's nice.
I know, I like a dramatic shiny. Like, that's a great one. I like Aegis Slash because it's a dramatic shiny. Impidimp.
What's Impidimp? White?
He's got a really cool shiny. He's like blue with a white mask. It's like a teal color.
That's pretty nice. I suppose we should move on to questions, Twitters.
Yes, thank you everyone for submitting questions.
PokéJungle. Yes.
And by ask PokéJungle, I meant ask all of us.
Yeah. Ask the website PokéJungle, not just the individual. Anyway, the first question is from Professor Chime. And it sort of continues on from what we were talking about. And he said, what do we want to see in the next installments? I think he means in terms of games, not just the expansions. And do we think there's going to be a season 2 of the expansion pass for Sword and Shield?
Ooh.
So, Paul, what do you think?
I think there will not be a season pass 2. That's just my feeling. I think they're going to move on to the next thing, and this was kind of like a stopgap instead of doing a third version. What I would like to see in the next game is like some customization for Pokemon. You know, we got the trainer customization, and like Let's Go experimented with Pikachu and Eevee having accessories, but I want to put bows up all over my Pokemon, stick some flowers on there. Okay, this is gonna be America's next Pokemon superstar. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
I love that idea. I would love to put my Pokemon into costumes. You know, we got close when we got to be able to decorate the Pokeballs. I think that was in Diamond and Pearl. and put stickers on them, and it changed the animation when they came out. And then again with Let's Go, you could actually put outfits on them. I mean, like you just said, but I would love to see it across all Pokemon instead of just Pikachu and Eevee.
Yeah, I think it would be kind of cool, but I don't know. I kind of get bored of customizing. But I was also thinking, do you remember the rumor that came up about I think it was Spirit Armor or something like that?
Oh, I remember that leak.
I remember the rumor, yeah.
I wouldn't mind something like that.
Well, I didn't
cosmetic,
read it that much because I'm not like into rumors or anything.
Oh, okay.
JK.
Didn't know about that.
I really liked that idea.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Thought it had a lot of... Yeah, like it was unique and it was like customizable enough to create a lot of new, gameplay aspects, a lot of new meta strategies and ways to highlight your favorite Pokemon or change the way they play.
I think it would be cool. Like we have items, but like just add something extra, maybe more limited than items, like 5 different things. Choose one of them to equip your Pokemon. And then, like, I don't know, it could really shake things up.
I think one of our followers, I think we follow them too, on Twitter had a good idea as well, which was sort of, this is even more straying further away from customization. Sort of the, I can't find it, it was a while ago. Something about sort of like the spirits of other Pokemon came... When they fainted, they could sort of stay in battle.
Interesting.
I sort of think that was...
And they're like kind of like a helper spirit?
Yeah. Their Twitter was Startboy on Twitter.
That's going to be way too disturbing to ever be seriously considered, but interesting idea.
Yeah, so I think the idea was that it was their spirit at first, and then it sort of changed away from that creepy aspect. I don't know.
I think that it's...
but yeah,
there's already so much going on in a Pokemon battle. At this point we have weather, which is sort of like, we'll call it an air effect. Then you have like a ground effect with terrain. There's so many invisible systems between like spikes and, stealth rocks. And now they added the Gigantamax versions of those moves as well. Things that you can't see unless you go into a Pokemon stats and press a button. So a lot of people don't even know you can get to that screen to check how many more turns of rain are there or how many more turns of Trick Room. So I feel like adding a new layer to the already pretty complex battle system, I feel like they would be hesitant to do that, but they might do things that highlight what's already there in a visible way. So if they did something like a spirit, maybe it would do something like a Wonder Room effect and explore some of those other ways to change the meta that aren't really used. Wonder Room, Magic Room, including Trick Room.
Yeah, I definitely think that they'd benefit from stopping new things and just sort of bulking up what they've already got. But I guess that doesn't really work for marketing. But
I mean, they kind of did do it with the Dynamax. With the Dynamax moves, it really brings out what has already existed and what they introduced in Alola with the terrains. And, it has created a lot more options in meta, and it feels fresh. So I think they did a nice job this time around.
Yeah, I think that...
Yeah, Sam.
I think they should bring back Megas, but sort of work them into Dynamaxing as well.
Yeah, find some common ground.
Keep them...
They honestly should have just added Megas back as, like, only accessible in Dynamax. Or, like, just as a Dynamax.
Like as a Gigantamax type form that you, have a hold item for?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they don't even need an item anymore, I feel like, and it would just totally be cosmetic,
Just the 3 turns, they just get the HP boost, and it's just a form change.
I think
Sam... Sorry, John, what?
The complicated thing between the megas to max forms is that the megas abilities changed, and that changed so much of how you played with them, and some of them became so much of a wall, like Sableye, for example, where it becomes harder to battle a Sableye because it's a staller wall, but you can't really do that in 3 turns.
True.
Yeah.
What was the next question, Sam?
Next one is from Pokestars 0, and he's asking, well, basics from everyone. Favorite Pokemon, starter, evolution, region, and game. So maybe John, you can start. Let's go with favorite Pokemon, region, and game.
Okay, my favorite Pokemon is Bronzong. Mostly because I've used it so many times over the years. I love that it's bulky, I love its design, and I like its green shiny. My favorite starter is actually Tepig, and not because I like to use it in battle, just I think it's adorable. And runner-up would be Chespin. And then my favorite region is Unova. I think that the story in Unova was... Okay, so maybe I'm a little biased for why it's my favorite region, because it's also my favorite game. So Black and White 2 to me and Black and White had the most compelling story, and I was, in my opinion, and I was really interested in the characters, including the side characters, Bianca and Sharon, as well as Anne and Getstis. So I think that was it for me. Those were the best.
Yeah. Paul, how about you?
I just want to say that was a really unique choice of favorite Pokemon, and I love that. My favorite Pokemon is probably Swaddle or Dunsparce. And then, like John said, actually, Black and White 2 is seriously my favorite game, and Unova is my favorite region.
So for me, my favorite Pokemon is probably Rotom. Just the regular form. I do look at the forms, but I think the regular one is the best. I don't know why. Something about it is pretty nice. Region is probably Johto, maybe, I think. I just enjoyed the games most. Original Gold and Silver, Crystal, and then Hard Gold and Soul Silver. I was at this time I sort of fell back in love. It sounds weird with Pokemon.
The remakes are awesome.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I do love the remakes. Region, I already said region. Game, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Hard Gold, Soul Silver, or Platinum.
I feel like those remakes were so solid, and I already had so much nostalgia from the originals. That was right when I got into it, and I was actually able to, read and comprehend what was happening in the game. So, Gold and Silver, those are classics.
Yeah, I don't know if I actually ever finished Black and White 2. I think I definitely finished Black and White. Black and White 2, I'm not sure.
I couldn't tell you what happens.
But they were pretty good.
Let's just take one more question.
I guess we're done with that question. So
and then
next one.
Yeah, let's take one more, and then we'll save some for next time.
Yep, that's fine. Next one, I will pick. What Pokemon would you like to see get an evolution? And why? And that is from Ajax _DV. Okay, John, you can start.
So the Pokemon that I would like to see get an evolution is, I want to say Jinx. I think it would be really cool to see a Jinx evolution. I kind of feel like with that leaked audio, there's a really good chance that there might be or might have been a planned Jinx evolution. I would love to see her be like a bigger, almost like a burlier, like a Viking-esque Jinx from the mountains in the Crown Tundra.
That's disturbing.
I do think a Galar form would be pretty good. Maybe an evolution as well would be nice. Yeah,
and sort of like redeem Jinx's rep.
Yeah, it's sort of... I guess most of the Pokemon like that from Gen 1 have got some sort of love kind of.
I mean, like
Whereas Jinx is sort of been left.
like Jinx got Smoochum in the same time that Magmar and Electabuzz got Elekid and Magby, and then she was just sort of, neglected. So I'd love to see that this year.
Would be nice.
How about you?
We'll see. What type would you like?
Oh man,
Which typing, or would you keep it the same? Just
I kind of want to see her go maybe Steel Psychic. I know it already exists, but I think it's my favorite combination.
That'd be cool.
Give her some plate armor and keep that psychic typing.
look like one of those. What are they called? Like the typical opera singer.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have in mind. I was thinking like kind of like a Valkyrie's helmet.
That's the one, Valkyrie. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I would love to see a Cricketune evolution, and it would just be so awesome that everyone would forget like how much it had sucked in Gen 4. Because no one liked Kricketot or Cricketune.
Oh,
I
hate those two.
I like them. I think that noise that Cricketune makes though is like everybody knows that noise.
I love that noise. I listen to it as I go to bed. You're not a true bug fan if you don't.
Oh my god. What type would you want to see it evolve into?
I'm thinking bug poison.
Okay.
And it would have an even more killer cry. Something like Britney Spears' Toxic. On strings.
Oh my god.
Oh, dear.
Sam, what do you want to see?
I really don't know. That's a hard question.
Why don't you
Which
say
Pokemon would I
nothing
like
because
to
you want
evolve?
more original Pokemon?
Yeah, I do like original Pokemon. I think they'd be interesting if they did evolution to Ditto somehow. I mean, I don't particularly want to see it, but it would be interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have I'm all for that originality.
Would you be interested in seeing more Rotom forms?
That's what I was going to ask. Like, what about Ghost Poison and it was a bottle of soap?
See, there's an issue there that unless it's a mechanical bottle of soap, that wouldn't work.
That's right.
What if it's one of those automatic hand sanitizer dispensers?
There you go. That's it.
We've got
Virus form. There we go.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I would like to see more forms, but I just feel like he's past that stage. It would be interesting if they did like the forms that we've seen, like the Dex in Sun and Moon and the drone in Sword and Shield, if they somehow made those usable in battles, but that's not an evolution.
They've had like huge weapons in the Pokemon games, like especially Gen 6, I would love to see a Rotom that like goes into one of those weapons and like becomes the legendary or a legendary Pokemon. Like wouldn't that be cool? Right before they destroy everything.
That's the story of the game.
That's how the Pokemon world ends.
With Rotom.
Yeah, so would you want to save the last... Actually, no. One more question. This is for you, Paul. Are you in love with Cerebi Joe?
Well, who was the question from? If it was from Cerebi...
It's from... I have no idea how to say that. Rona KPW.
Oh, I thought Joe was like sending me messages for the podcast. I would say no. I'm in love with the concept of Cerebi Joe. I have like in my head, there's like he is basically like he has a 6-pack, perfectly sculpted body with a head of a Celebi. That's what I'm in love with.
Does he have the antenna too? Is that included in the head?
Oh, yes. And, yeah, like, I don't know. My husband must be jealous you know, but like I feel bad about that, but I cannot stop. I cannot put down this manly Celebi. I swoon.
I think we've gone too far.
Well,
Yeah, we'll save the rest of these questions for next time then. There's some
doozies.
Juicy Lucy's.
So Sam and John, thank you so much for helping us.
Wait. I have one more thing that you have to do. This is very special. So, before we record the next episode, I guess, all three of us have to make a Twitter account for any Pokemon that we want. This is a competition between the three of us. And without using any existing accounts or any paid advertising, anything like that, we have to see which of the three of us can gain the most followers.
That's
and
evil.
You can't promote it using anything else.
Okay.
Any Pokemon you want.
Can we make
And the winner gets nothing. But
let's make one more rule that it can't have an existing propaganda account.
Nope.
Okay.
It cannot exist. Well, unless it has and it's got like 2 followers, then you can make a new one.
Okay. If it has,
But you have between now and the next episode to get as many followers as you can.
So 1 week.
1 week.
1 week.
All right, game on.
1 week.
All right.
Any Pokemon you want.
But we're not saying it right
That's
now.
the challenge.
Because
don't
then
say it
people
now.
would know and they'd follow us. Okay.
If anyone figures it out, they get a bonus.
They get a bonus lava cookie.
A bonus lava cookie, yes. That's the challenge.
All right.
Go ahead.
PokéJungle out.
Oh, yeah. Goodbye. Nice talking to you both.
All right, bye,
You
guys.
didn't have a catchphrase ready?
Buzz, buzz. Bzzzt.